Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Y'all, so I am super frustrated, but I'm not new to what's going on, so I will be just fine. So here's the deal. I get off of work. So as you guys know, I started a new job, right? And with this new job, the work hours are a little bit different well, I would say the flexibility is a little bit different than where I was before. So I came up with the game plan and I was like, you know what? I'm going to work through the first few months, get through my first 90 days, and then go ahead and let them know that I need to be able to shorten my Fridays. Again, I don't know how realistic that is with this particular firm, but it is worth a shot, right? With that being said, it's so funny to me how I am doing well, right? I'm doing better than what I was doing even a month ago or 2 months ago, right? And I noticed that this other party is now beginning to slowly but surely act up, right? And what I mean by this is today my parenting time was taken from me, right? And I could have went through the whole hassle of showing up and causing a scene, maybe even calling the police to get my kid, but I'm not going to put my kid through that shit, right? Here's my deal though. It wasn't just taken like, oh, hey, earlier on in the week, even yesterday, even as much as 24 hours, right? Will all this, like, I didn't get a notification that my time was going to be missed at all. Okay. Today my daughter calls me and she's like, hey mom, would you like to go out to Cadoba or Chipotle? I want to buy. And she's texting me. She's like, I'm real excited to see you. She's calling me at 1 something in the afternoon, right? So in her mind, she's planning on coming to see me. And she was really excited. You could hear it in her tone. She's super happy, right? Well, next thing you know, right, I get off of work. I'm excited to see her. I'm like, dang, my kid offered to take me out. I wasn't going to really allow her to do so, but the fact that she offered made me kind of happy, right? So I get off of work. Now, keep in mind, when I first started this job and accepted this position, I told my daughter's father, I said, look, right now, I'm going to need to be able to change my times of when I pick her up. The kid's out of school. It's not like, she's in school right now. And then half the time, it's not like I'm going into the school to pick her up. So in my mind, if I was to take this issue to court, which I feel like I shouldn't have to, right? Jobs change. That is just a part of life. I can't force a job to keep me, and I'm not going to necessarily tell a job no that is kind of asking me to stay a couple more hours, right? After school. Like, in my opinion, the child goes to school in his neighborhood, right? So if I can be there to pick her up from school, cool. But they're like 3 minutes away from the fucking school, bro. And the woman is retired. Dad works from home. It's not as if these people can't pick her up, right? For a couple hours, or her go to the library or whatever for a couple hours. So I let her dad know. I said, hey, look, I'll be there to pick her up at 6. I'm thinking we're on a good page. Things are going fine. I'll be there to pick her up at 6. Dad says, okay. Now, again, we're all adults in the situation. If the concern is, if dad did not want to pick her up at 6, or me to pick her up at 6, that's the time, the proper time, the adult time to communicate that. It just is what it is, right? I would think that at that point, if I'm saying, hey, look, I got this gig, it's requiring me to, leave at 5, the latest I can be there is at 6. Is that okay with you? At that point, then you speak the fuck up, okay? That's just common sense. Dad says, okay. All right, cool. We're good to go. So I pick my daughter up. Now, all of a sudden, I'm having issues with being able to pick her up when I say I'm able to pick her up, right? Meaning that I literally get off of work. This has now happened. This has been 2 times in a row. 2 times too many, where my time is after. So literally what I do is I get off of work and I go straight to her. I think that that's reasonable. Anybody who's off of work understands that you might want to get all your everything in line together, everything done, and then you can go home and chill out. This has been 2 times now where I've gone and picked her up since I started this job. Y'all know I've only been at this job for about 3 weeks, right? Or maybe it's going on 4 now because the 10th would be a full month, right? So I'm on my way. I'm about 10 minutes away, right? Come to find, or excuse me, today anyway. I called my daughter before I left school. I'm I asked or school work. I asked her, I said, "Hey, are you ready for me to come get you or do you need some time?" Well, I'm being asked to clean my room, and she's starting to grow very impatient. And I'm wondering, why is she so impatient, right? Because I'm just asking questions. Like, I want to know, do I need to waste my gas to come get you? Like, am I driving to come get you or do I just need to go home? And I also explained to my daughter why that was so important to know when I'm leaving work. The reason being is because I pass the highway when I go home. So, meaning that if you're not going to be at home, if you're not going to be ready, then that's what that phone call is for, so that I can call and make sure you're home or call and make sure you're ready for me to come get you, right? Like, I would think that what I'm doing is normal processes. This ain't like fucking rocket science. But when I fucking call the fucking kid, and yes, she pisses me off because what she does is she doesn't fucking answer the question and she goes back and forth. Well, I want to go with you and I don't want to stay here. Okay, kid, I need to know if you want me to pick you up or not. That's it. It's literally a yes or no. Well, you're going to get mad at me. The problem with the child is she's always assuming that she knows what my emotions are, right? And when I'm upset, it's obvious I'm upset. This is where people really baffle me with this. I'm assume you're angry and I ain't even stated I'm angry. Like, I'm pretty direct in that regards. Obviously, if I'm direct in my speech any other time, I don't know why people think that they can read me, that my voice can't get louder, or that my anger can't actually show, right? Me asking you a simple fucking question is a simple fucking question, bro. And anything outside of that is really a perspective that has nothing to do with me. Because that's not what I said. And I'm sick and tired of having to explain to this kid that your perception of what you think I am or what you think I'm going to do is wrong. What makes me upset is the fact that I get on the highway because she tells me, "Well, just come, just come." Well, I asked you what you wanted me to do and you can't seem to figure it out. Well, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. Kid, I'm on my way. Like, don't fucking put me in that position talking about whatever you want to do. Like I told her before, if I didn't want to see you, I would not be coming to get you. That's not a good response. So then I'm assuming you want me to be on my way. Yes or no. Well, just be on your way. Okay, fine. Bye. Be ready when I pick you up. Bye. That's what I said. Because now I'm irritated because the little girl don't know how to express her fucking what she wants to say. I'm not a fucking mind reader. It's not my job to read your fucking mind. It's your job to learn to communicate. And these are things that she clearly knows how to do, except when she has to say something, right? I don't fucking know, right? And maybe there was a time that I got mad when my time was being taken from me, right? Maybe there was a time when that was the case, or when she would want to go home over petty stupid shit because she didn't want to follow the rules in my house. Then at that time, I may have been like, you know what? You're not coming back for another weekend. You damn right. You damn fucking right. But all that I was really asking is let me know so I can plan accordingly before I'm already on the road. And I think that that's just fair for anybody. I don't think that what I was asking for was unreasonable. I don't think so. So in my mind, the child and her emotions, I don't fucking have time for it. Tell me what you want so I can either one, not come pick you up and or come pick you up. So she tells me that, I hang up. Okay, cool. Next thing you know, I'm about 10 minutes away. I look down at my phone. I got 2 missed calls from her. So I answer the phone. I call her back. Now, instinctively, I already knew what these 2 phone calls were. But again, the principle is, and what I'm trying to teach her is to communicate. Stop assuming, stop expecting me to fucking read your mind. Start communicating what you need. It's that simple. The temper tantrums, what I feel like when kids throw temper tantrums, usually it's because they don't know how to communicate something. I genuinely feel like if my daughter utilized the vocabulary that she has in these times, it would save a lot of fucking frustration, right? On all ends. Okay. So she calls me back and she's like, well, mom, you're 10 minutes away. And keep in mind, you guys, from the first phone call she gave me, you could tell that was her choice to give me that call. The second calls that she had made to me, that was because someone else was telling her to do so. And I don't think that her frustration was with me as much as it was with the fact that they were changing the plans that she created, right? And I don't think that her staying there was her choice. What she told me was, Mom, I want to come see you. That's why she couldn't tell me which way or the other, which one, because I think deep down the kid didn't want not to come. But there's a level of frustration because she can't then turn around and tell them that she's frustrated with them because she's not there yet, right? So what she does is she takes it out on me, and then I can't solve an issue as to whether or not she wants me to pick her up or not. That shit could have been solved if she just answered the fucking question. But the first thing that comes out of her mouth is the girlfriend, the girlfriend, the girlfriend. And she's frustrated from the beginning. So what I'm like, I'm not picking you up like this. I just got off of work. Like, what the fuck am I walking into type shit is really what I'm asking. Because I don't see like, I'm having to pick up pieces to an attitude that I don't even deserve. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm asking you, how can I fix it? I don't even know what the fuck is going on, but you're not fucking answering me, right? So I'm a bit irritated, but it's fine. I'm on my way. Call her back. I'm literally 10, not even, I'm probably closer than 10 minutes because I was exiting the highway, getting ready to get off the highway. And I asked her, I said, I called her back and she's like, well, yeah, I want to see so-and-so this weekend. So can you pick me up tomorrow? And in my mind, first off, I'm like, little girl, I just fucking asked you this shit, right? In my mind. And I really did tell her this. I didn't curse, but I let her know, like, that's not okay. If I call you and I'm asking you if you want me to pick you up or not, that is the time to fucking speak. Not when the fuck I'm already 10 minutes away. Now you want to hurry up and undo what you did because clearly the emotional shit did not solve the problem. The lack of impatience and not wanting to answer me, all that bullshit that she was giving me, which was attitude, that didn't solve anything. That didn't help me. It didn't help her. It didn't help the people involved at all. But more importantly, it didn't help me. Or her, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe this is a family event or whatever. So I'll give you the full weekend. Fine. You have the weekend. Because in my mind, little girl, and I really want to say something else, but I'm not going to say it because it's not appropriate to say about a kid or to a kid. But that's how I fucking feel, right? I'm human, right? I have control, but I'm human, right? You make me drive about 30 minutes fucking away. That's number one. I called and I asked What is it that you want me to do? Now, the frustration comes in when I call her, she doesn't fucking answer the phone. She tells me, well, mom, so and so had their music up loud. Little girl, I just talked to you like an hour ago. You know the fuck I was coming. I'm coming all the time at this time. So my thing is this: check your fucking phone, bro. Like, your mom is on your way. We just had this conversation last week about something very similar, right? No respect. That's what this is. So now it's not really on her, because I'm having a dialogue. She's like, well, I said, so why couldn't you have this conversation with me when I called you at first? Well, mom, I was afraid and worried you were going to get mad and you weren't going to see me for 2 weeks. First of all, you're not even being honest about this dialogue. Okay. This child hasn't canceled time with me in quite a while. It's been quite some time. Okay. That's number one. Number two, she has been at my house, like her daddy said, via text every weekend. So this idea that it's been 2 weeks because you want to go spend time with your quote unquote family, that's some bullshit. Don't point that and don't put that bullshit on me. That's not cool. And the reason why it had to be checked when it was said is because these are the lies that she tells other people, right? And I don't know if they're her lies or if they're mixing her words up or if that's how I don't fucking know. But what you're not going to do is lie on me. Now, when your behavior is disrespectful and you're screaming, you're kicking, you're throwing shit in my house, you're breaking shit, right? Because all that has been done as a result of these piss poor behaviors, right? Then you damn right. If I'm fed up to the point where I feel like you shouldn't come back until I calm the fuck down, that's what it's going to be. Because at the end of the day, like I said, these behaviors do exist, and they've been telling everyone that I've been crazy and I've been lying and making shit up. And she has participated in those lies. So as a result of, the consequences are that you go to where they allow you to behave as such. It is what it is. Okay? I don't know what to tell people. You think that I'm crazy, that I'm just making up these behaviors, but then when she's not team daddy, she tells me, oh, yeah, no, I do this at home too. I bet you that child is more honest with me than she is them. I put money on it. So if that's the case, then you need to take your ass home. Cause I don't do disrespect. And I've asked so many adults like this, right? So many adults that have kids, that have raised kids, all of that. What do you do when you only have a child, but for so little time, and everything that you do, they undo, right? What do you do? Well, I got rules in my house. You're not walking all over me. So, yeah, if you can't get with the program, then you need to go to your dad's. And sometimes the behavior is so bad that, yeah, 2 weeks have gone by. But just like, keep in mind, the conversation with her has always been acknowledge the behavior, what it is that you do, and call me with an apology. That's it. And technically, her daddy should be helping her understand that that's the proper way to go about it. If your behavior was so bad that you had to be sent home early, common sense for any adult, if we're really doing this adult shit and we're doing it right and properly and raising a child properly, like I stated, when I misbehaved at my mom's house to the point where my mama was like, you come get your child, my daddy made me turn around and apologize to her. That ain't rocket scientist, but you're dealing with a parent who has no respect for the other fucking parent. And so he passes that shit down to his child. Okay. So when we talk about me being gone for 2 weeks at a time, you earned that shit. And I don't give a fuck what any white lady has to say. I don't give a fuck what the courts have to say. If they're not going to hear me so that we can fix the behavior together, then what the fuck? I don't give a fuck what they're saying. You can be team daddy all you want to, but when the child ends up becoming a child who is, what's the word? I don't want to say, when the behaviors turn to get worse and folks don't have control over this child, my response to everybody is about to be, I told you so. Because it already is. It's already been happening. Right? So, and it's unfortunate, but I should, as a mom, I should have never been put in this position. So when you try everything that you think you know to try to reverse what has happened, now all I can do is embrace it, baby. That's it. That's it. The fuck? Oh, I'm a bad mom. Cool. Shoot, I'll take it. If that's what, like, because I'm at a point where, and like I told her, my daughter's father today, right? Because what happened was I called my daughter back. I'm having a discussion about having this conversation, respect for my time, boundaries, because a person is only going to drive that far so many more times to be turned around as they're pulling up, basically. Okay. They're only going to try that shit so many times. And even when you say you want to come see, you want to see me, I'm going to be more likely to be hesitant to come pick you up because I don't know if this is a real situation. Like, you really want to see me, or is it going to change in the next 30 minutes? Nobody, like, in their right mind, respectfully, I should not have to do that. I shouldn't. I shouldn't have to deal with that shit. And because it's giving old past behaviors, like I told her dad, I'm disappointed because I feel like you and I are past this, right? We should be anyway, right? But obviously we are not. It's obvious that the maturing of anything is not going to happen. It's obvious to me. And again, it would be different if this was the first time. This has been, do you know how many times this man has done the same shit at all different stages of this kid's life? So you know what I told the kid, and I told him I will not be there to pick her up until it is solidified by the courts, and or he understands that when I say I'm going to pick her up by a specific time, he needs to abide by that time. Period. And or give me 24-hour notice at minimum that, hey, I need this weekend. Can we trade? There is a better way to fucking do that than at last minute when I'm on the phone disciplining my kid, because I have every right to talk to her about the behavior that again, if I ask you when I call you, I'm like, hey, do you want me to come pick you up? I asked her about 3 or 4 times. I was very polite. The answer should have been yes or no. That's it. So I have every right to have a dialogue with her now, because now I'm 10 minutes out and I asked you this question before I left. He's going to interject and tell her that, oh, well, she just can see you next weekend. Should she? Now, initially, I told the kid, I said, well, you know what? I'll pick you up next weekend, just so y'all understand. The kid starts getting frustrated or whatever. So I said, you know what? Fine. Okay. And I think he doesn't understand that I am a young, single fucking woman. It benefits me not to have a fucking kid every fucking weekend, dumbass. Like, I don't think, like, this man really thinks, it's almost like I think I have the power that I really don't have anymore. See, what I did was I said, okay, if the courts aren't going to take away your power, I'm taking away your power. And it's unfortunate that it has to happen at the extent of the child, but you're not going to fucking keep playing games with me. Like, I deserve 10 times better than this bullshit. I always fucking have, right? And I know this about myself. So this game playing of now all of a sudden the child's out in school, because what I told him is, if you don't see anything wrong with how you decided to go about this, even if you felt, because what he tried to tell me, keep in mind, I told the child, so let me get back. I told the child that I have to get my tire, because that's another thing. I'm driving on a flat tire, right? Essentially. So I'm like, girl, I got to get my tires fixed tomorrow. I already got it scheduled, already paid for my tires, right? I need to get them fixed. It just is what it is. Then maybe I can pick you up. I think someone in the background was telling her, no, next weekend, or whatever, even though I had said what I said, right? So now the child's arguing with me with, oh, well, you said you'll just come next weekend. Little girl, did you not hear me? I just told you after you just complained that I will pick you up after I get my tire fixed. And in fact, she said, okay. So then she keeps arguing with me about next weekend, next weekend, next weekend. And I'm thinking, that's not what I said. Like, I said it, but I changed my mind. I said it about 3 times. Then her dad jumps in and says, oh, and keep in mind, I had no idea I was on speakerphone. That's number one. But of course, the kid is crying and all this extra bullshit because I said I'll pick her up next weekend, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, if you're asking me, you're telling me you want to spend time with someone today, that tells me that you're probably wanting to spend time with them for the full weekend. So initially, that was my thought. That wasn't me being angry. It's, hey, you're asking for time. I'm letting you spend it, right? And again, I'm thinking further ahead than the fucking kid, right? As I should. I'm an adult. She's the child, right? The child gets upset. Well, why next weekend? She starts crying. So I decide, you know what? Fine. Obviously, you don't have nothing planned. That's my thoughts. Why not? Then fine. Whatever. Fine. I'll pick you up after my tire is changed. Dad jumps in because the kid's now arguing me about what time I'm picking her up and whatever. Dad jumps in. Apparently, I was on speaker the entire time, which, in my opinion, is a problem. Okay, because I should have been notified about that. I don't know why. If anything, if he wanted to say something to me, he should have called me and said it. Not trying to get all this. No, I don't do sneaky shit. Okay. He jumps in and says, well, I don't have all time for back and forth. She can come get you next weekend, yada, yada, yada. Well, what the fuck? You didn't. So what it tells me is that the intent was to take away my full weekend. That was what you were trying to get the kid to call me and say, but the kid really didn't want to fucking say it. Obviously. The man is not understanding how much he's really, like I say, the kid is getting older, bro. You can play these games with me or not, but I promise you, this kid understands the fact that I told her I had a flat tire. She knew about this when she called me about going to Chipotle in Cadoba, talking about she'll pay for it. This was the kid's plan for Friday. So when I called her back the initial time, she was upset when I picked up the phone. When she picked up the phone, which tells me her frustration had nothing to do with me. But I don't give a damn because I'm still mommy and you're going to communicate I don't know what to tell you. That ain't got shit to do with me, right? Learning to control our emotions, right? And how we react, okay? Now, it is normal for children who are raised in certain situations, right? Where when they're frustrated with the people they live with, but they can't fucking say it, they take it out on the other parent. That has always been the case. That is not nothing new. Any psychiatrist will agree that that fucking happens. So, unfortunately, because I am not patient in those situations, I'm trying to either leave work, go home, or whatever. I didn't really think that through. So now I'm frustrated with the kid and I'm frustrated with the situation because she ain't talking. I'm not realizing that her emotions are not really because of me, but I'm kind of like, why are you acting like what is all the issue for? Like I'm still questioning it. Um so understanding that, right? I get it. And I guarantee you, if I talk to her, she'll probably tell me. But what I will tell you is I do feel like the child still plays sides. Very much so. Because what the conversation probably will be at that house, when she comes back, it ain't going to be the same thing. But I'm at a point, you guys, this is my thing. I feel like I have come such a long way from the shit that I have been dealing with. That's what I told my daughter's father. Like, it's not unexpected that he's doing it, but it's disappointing that this is the behavior and the tactics that he still wants to utilize, right? Here's the deal. They saw me at her continuation. Him and the girlfriend were there, and I was looking real, real good. And I think some of that frustration is because they realize that I'm actually doing pretty damn good. And I think that when it's almost like a reiteration when you see a person, it's so easy to be out of sight, out of mind, right? And I want to be clear. The girlfriend has been doing her antics too as of recently, right? But I've been ignoring them, just kind of like I say, trying to, whatever. So for this to happen, now that everybody's seen me and we actually have to be in the same space and I actually look better than the girlfriend, and now we're the parents of a child who the child really wants to spend time with me. It's obvious she wants to spend time with me. She's beginning to spend more and more time with me, right? And these are her choices. Now it's like we got to try to change the narrative, right? That's what I'm realizing. I'm not stupid, so I'm gonna turn up the fucking ante, right? You want to keep playing with me? He doesn't know half the shit my kid says about living there. I know all of the shit that they say about me, right? So understand those dynamics. It's not the same playing field. And I almost feel like he's probably trying to get more time because he's realizing, damn, the more time she spends with my mommy, the more time her mommy, the more she wants to be with her mom. And I can guarantee you the person behind all this shit is the girlfriend, because the girlfriend's been having all these complex issues, right? Complex issues, right? About who her actual mommy is. It's interesting how the tables turn like that, right? But now it's like good because the kid is becoming more vocal. That's another thing too. The kid is starting to be like, nah, I want this, and you're not giving it to me. So if you don't think that I really am aware of who has control, and like I say, I could care less about what the courts say, and I care less about the fucking anybody else involved, right? Because I know my kid and I know I'm right. And it's unfortunate, like I've always told this kid, that it's at the expense of her, but I never put her in that position. Her daddy did. So what I've made very clear is I will not be picking because see, we're not doing these games. What it tells me, if you don't even if this man is really sitting here trying to justify the fact that I didn't even get so much as a 24, even if he sent me a message this morning. The child is out of school, which means they got the whole week to be doing whatever the fuck they want to do with her, right? That's number one. Okay, but I get it. Maybe family comes into town, right? You wanted her to spend time with the family or whatever on a weekend. Okay, cool. But you knew this shit last night. You knew it this morning, and not one time did you send me a text or, hey, I'm just letting you know I've got family in town. I really want the child to spend time with them. Is that okay with you? That's again, this isn't like I'm asking you to go above and beyond. I'm just asking you to show a level of respect, right? Because that's what it is. I do that with him. Why can't you do it with me? That's just only fair, right? Why? Because a girlfriend is so fucking insecure that anytime you talk to me, look in my direction, breathe, she's got an issue. Okay, cool. But just know my child is getting sick of this shit. She is. And so now what he's done is he's put her in a complicated position because I am over and I've made it clear to all three parties. Y'all ain't gonna keep disrespecting me and playing me like I'm not the shit, motherfucker. Like that's where I'm at now. Like I've worked too hard to get to where I'm at mentally, emotionally. I'll be damned if I allow anyone to pull me down and any scent of trying to pull me down. Oh, I'm going to get rid of you. It just is what it is. So, like I've told him, the fact that you haven't shown me, like the fact that things haven't changed, because what it tells me is, because his response to me was, well, the court order doesn't state that you should have your daughter every weekend. Well, technically, yes, it does. And it's been that way for the last 2 years, almost three, right? So it's been this way for quite some time. And every Friday I've been picking my daughter up, right? So, you know, I don't know when this has changed, but this is the court order, sir. Additionally to the court order, the child is allowed to spend time wherever she chooses to spend time. That means during the week and the weekend, sir. That's also part of the court order. But see, we forget all of that shit. We just want to pull up some shit out of our ass to, do whatever we want or whatever. So the court order, as it currently stands, is that I'm to have my daughter every other weekend, the full weekend, right? And then every other Friday overnight to Saturday. That's how it's been. However, because of the child and what the child wants, the child is saying, "Nah, I want to spend time with my mommy. And I want to stay at my mom's all weekend." So in his mind, he's failing to realize that the kid is older now. She's allowed to make that decision, and it's in the court order, right? So what he tells me, and this is like that narcissistic personality bullshit, which was, "I allowed you." No, you had to. You didn't have a choice because your daughter said she wanted to spend time with me. And see, I don't think he realizes that she's at an age where you can't coach her to say what she wants to say now. That child knows what's at stake if she pulls some bullshit like she pulled 2 years ago, and she's fully aware of the ramifications and the consequences of it. That, I don't think the consequences, and maybe I could be wrong, maybe she'll prove me wrong, but I don't think what them coaching her to say things is going to override her wanting to be with me. And that's where they're fucking up. Okay? So in my mind, what I told him was, obviously by your response, you don't think that how you went about what you did was inappropriate. You don't think that, because see, again, if the goal is to create drama, then I'm gonna have you come all the way to my house and then be like, "Nope, you can't get the kid." I don't know in what person's right mind would they think that doesn't create drama. That would create drama with any fucking parent. That's a fucking parent, bro. That's just the truth. That would frustrate any person that just got off of work and spent that time traveling halfway across town only to be turned around. Yeah, that would piss anybody off. So the fact that, and I also know for a fact that he would want the same level of grace. If I have to change my parenting time for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure he would prefer to know sooner rather than later, right? I've been through this with him, right? So since what I'm asking for is just abnormal and it's not common, and we're gonna go back to this, I'm treating her like she's crazy and she don't know what she's talking about, then I'm gonna give him that. Okay, cool. So until you agree on setting a time where I can pick her up at a set time every fucking week, like I've been scheduled to, or a judge signs off on a new fucking schedule, bro, I won't be picking up the kid. Have fun with that. I don't know what to tell you. Since wasting my time is not like giving me a heads up, letting me know. That's not what we're doing now all of a sudden. So I do it for you, but you don't have to do it for me. That's cool. I can't control you, but I can control me, right? So at the expense of the kid, I will not be there to pick her up. And unfortunately, like I told my old roommate, is he has to learn I gotta go to the extreme because obviously folks don't get it. And I've let the kid know the very same thing I've told her daddy. I will not be there to pick you up until your dad agrees to a set time for me to pick you up every fucking week, or we go back to court and they will set the fucking time. I don't know what to tell you, my friend. And it's unfortunate that I have to go through this, but the kid will, I would see it like this, and like my old roommate said, the kid will put pressure on the parent. She has no other choice. You either step up and you start letting them know what the hell you be telling me behind closed doors, and maybe it's going to take a level of anger for her, and this is not what I want for her. I want to be clear. What she's going to experience and what she has been experiencing is fucking traumatic. It's fucking traumatic. You don't know if your mom's gonna stay or if she gonna leave. That is fucking traumatic, bro. But this is where I'm at. It's like if talking doesn't get respect, action will. Subtle doesn't work. Being kind and nice and respect, nah, that don't work. Even when I'm having a dialogue with this man and I'm like, bro, it's not the fact that you decided you wanted the time, it's how you went about taking that time. Two different things. You don't just tell me when you're going to take my parenting time away, because what that tells me is you think you can do that any other fucking time. And so if that's the case, I don't need no courts to do what they should be doing and not going to do. I'm going to make it so. And I guarantee you, when I go to them courts, that's because this option is the last fucking resort, bro. So if you don't want me to see the kid, you keep acting like you keep pulling this bullshit. Keep it up. Keep it up. Because I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna, and until I get what I want, my response will continuously be, are you sure you actually want me to pick you? Will you be there? Well, I need your dad to confirm. This is where we're at. Because you're not going to have me driving halfway out of the way with y'all been relaxing at home all fucking day long. And now you want to play games with my time because you mad that I'm successful. You mad that I'm still living my grand ass life and I'm doing a damn good job of it. I'm sick of it, y'all. I'm sick of it. I'm frustrated. But I appreciate the people that I have. Like I told my old roommate, I didn't mean to come at them. I was having a great day today. I'm still going to have a great day, y'all. You get fed up with dealing with shit like this, man. And I know damn well I don't give a fuck what these people said. Because the one proof of the pudding is the child. When the child is calling to me and she's crying, she texts me, I don't want to be here. Mom, I don't want to be here. Mom, I want you to come get me. These words have been said more often than not. When I get so fed up with the kid and I'm like, you need to go home according to your court-ordered scheduled parenting time, the kid don't want to leave. That's how bad this is. This is why I keep telling him, I told him today, I'm not going to go back and forth with you, but you need to understand the child is getting older and she recognizes who the fucking problems are. Now with me, there's always, because she lives with these people and they tell her certain things, there's always that beef with me initially. But when you ask her and when you really sit down with the child, she's like, I don't know how to tell my dad I don't want to be there. She don't want to be with no old people. And they trying so hard. And like I said, I get it, because jealousy when it comes to kids. See, this is the problem. There was a woman who got involved with a kid that had no business being involved to the extent that she has been. That's number one, right? So she has been trying to make my daughter feel bad for my daughter wanting to be with me. I've told you guys about Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, when she went to go give me those flowers, and all the hatred that is spewed to her as a result of her decision to do so. These aren't things that I'm like, hey kid, go buy me a dozen roses, right? I can go do that myself. These are things that the kid is like, I want to do this for my mommy. And she does them. And what people need to, what I really think why she goes to the extent, like I want to buy flowers and stuff, I think it's because she don't have enough time with me. So in her mind, every time there's an important holiday, I'm like, well, did you get Diane something? That's why I say, did you get old girl something? And she'll tell me, Mama, I do that for her all the time. I draw things. It's you that doesn't get these things. And the child, I almost feel like, because she is fully aware that she was not being fully honest when we went to court this last time, and she's fully aware of that. It's not like what she tells me all the time is she'll break down and cry, which is, mommy, I regret why I regret that I did what I did. I regret that I said what I said. This is why it hurts me so much, because I already knew all of this was going to fucking happen. And I told them this was going to happen. And they did nothing. Like a mom doesn't fucking know the child that she carried for 9 fucking months. Right? So the thing about me is, I understand the kid is, it's not really the child's fault, right? It's not. But because of the extent to which the lies have been told, and because of what's been written on paper, and the lack of real investment in understanding the circumstances between the two parties, right? I feel like my daughter is suffering. And as a mom, the average mom, I don't think would think like me, right? I think that because I am the way that I am, and mentally, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of mom would do X, Y, and Z? But when you're dealing with a person that uses something as a means to try to control, right? Or a means to try to create drama, my mental health is most important. No one will ever convince me that it's not. Because if my mental health ain't there, I lose my place, I lose my job, I lose everything that I worked for. So, how I'm looking at this is, I know the person I've been dealing with for the last 10 years, right? I know the behavior. I know what will come around the corner. It's not surprising that this happened. It's just been quite a while, right? And I think that the reason why it's been so long is because people, one, were waiting for me to fail. And now that they start to see my daughter become closer to me, it's like, oh, no, 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 we can't have that, because she's getting old enough to make the decision of where she wants to live. Do you understand? So I'm having to not be mad at the child, which is very traumatic. I want to be clear. Everything that I've gone through, I think people forget that I'm fucking human. And this shit is, it's just as traumatic for me as it probably is the child. It's just probably, I would say this, I have a better way of processing it because I'm an adult versus the child who doesn't really understand why, right? Me, I've learned to move past the why. Like, I could give two fucks about the why. It's the fact that I'm going through this shit. I'm tired. I am tired. So the fact that the child's about to be 11 and we still dealing with this same old bullshit. And then the girlfriend, let me tell y'all something. When she told my daughter that she doesn't like me because I'm not nice. So wait, excuse me, right? Trying to tell my child that I'm not her mom, I'm not a good mom, that's not being cruel if it's dishonest, right? I would think that half the shit that I've been through was mean girl behavior. And none of that shit was perpetuated by me. So it's very interesting what I'm realizing. I wanted to do a video about this earlier because what it seems to me is the meanest people in the world can't handle the heat. See, because something my daughter really told her was, well, because what my daughter, I don't know if she actually told her, if she was thinking it, but what she told me in her dialogue was, well, mom, I don't seem to understand. This is what she says. She says you're mean and she doesn't like you because she's mean. Now, keep in mind, the child is checking off shit in her brain about what you told her the last time. So the last time you told her I was jealous, and this is why you are the way you are. Now this time I mean, and it's the kid pointing this shit out, by the way. So my daughter goes, she says, well, mommy, I just don't understand. And this is really like a fucking kid, bro. She's like, I don't get it, mommy. She says, because she's mean to you. She's upset that I gave you flowers for Valentine's Day, mommy. when you turned around and bought her a card and some chocolates just to make her somewhat happy. The kid is picking up on shit like this. It's me listening to her, and I'm like, you know what? You're damn right, actually. I didn't really look at it like that. But what I'm noticing is in my life, people, and it's the same thing with this last job that I was in with, people don't understand that I'm a fucking water. So it's like this. You look in how I like to describe it. You look in a body of still water, right? And you see your reflection in that still water. Your reflection doesn't fucking change, right? It is what you are. So when you look at yourself, it's almost like looking at a mirror, right? And you're seeing you, maybe a little warped because of the water, but it's you. Okay? Ain't no pimples added, ain't no, warts added. That is you when you look in a body of water and you see your reflection. That is you. There's no additives to that. So Pisces are very much the same way. And I would even go so far to say as evolved Pisces. I think all Pisces are, but the problem is not all Pisces know this, right? So you get an element. That is my element is water. Okay. So what we are known for is mirroring back what we see. Do you understand? So what was so interesting is I've noticed this is in my life, people get real upset with me because they say I'm mean and I'm all these different things. But it's funny how they're the ones actually doing the mean shit. It's like, and the reason why you'll never hear me be like, this person was mean, because no offense, I give a fuck if it affects my day, but I don't give a fuck in the sense that you're not going to change who the fuck I am. You see what I'm saying? Because you want to be mean. I'm still me at the end of the fucking day, bro. So I don't necessarily look at it that way. But when my child said what she said, I said, you know what? You're right. Because when you look at any other situation, it's only been her being mean. It's just me reacting. And so how I see this situation is, okay, you want to be mean and you want to act like you don't know right from wrong. And I can't get a verbal commitment out of you to just let me know ahead of time. Something as simple as that, which I've asked for plenty of times. And again, when you're dealing with people of like if you were professional, I would think that that's what you do. If you have a client that's coming to see you and you know that you're running a few minutes late, aren't you going to let the client know? Or if you know that you can't be at work on a certain time, you going to tell your job 10 minutes before work, or you going to tell them the day before? It's respect. It's just showing respect for someone's time. And so because I know who I'm dealing with, and because the excuses, it's always me and never him, and there's never a thought about anybody else but him. And I don't care if it's because of the girlfriend or not, I'm gonna make him eat his fucking words. So now when you want that break, because now you're gonna be dealing with the child because it's summer and now you have her in your household 24/7. I'm gonna need a verbal commitment that I will be picking her up at a set time and she will be ready and y'all ain't gonna play my games. I know that's probably gonna come sooner than, honestly, I could really take this issue to the courts. And the courts, because it's my parenting time, that's number one. But because my schedule has changed, the courts are not going to be like, no, you still got to pick her up. The courts are going to be like, no, you can pick her up at 6. They're going to change the schedule for me. And I don't think that that's for me. There's just common fucking sense. If the job changes, the job changes. It's not like I'm going to be penalized as a result of that. But at the same time, I'm trying to give grace. I'm trying. And a part of me feels like, well, I should just show up and keep trying to show up and do the right thing. But I need a verbal commitment that the kid is going to be there when I'm on my way, right? I need a verbal commitment that plans ain't suddenly changing all of a sudden because you guys feel like it, right? That's what I need. Otherwise, I don't understand why I would have to drive all the way that way to come get a child who can't even keep her commitments. And it's not the child as much as it is the adults. But I don't give a fuck. I'm there to spend time with my child. I'm the one showing up. And it's time, and it's unfortunate, like I said, and I will always say this, it's unfortunate that the kid is put in this position. It's unfortunate. But it can't be just me fighting for this. It's got to be her at this point, you know? And she's got to develop a backbone that's going to allow people to hear her. And if not, allow her to come with me. It just is what it is. I'm tired. Like, I don't know how much more I'm supposed to be expected to take of this behavior. I'm tired. So, like I told him, he ain't gonna play. You can play games all you want to. You can act like you don't know the right way to go about things and the right way to do things, but that's on you. That is your choice. But I think what folks need to start understanding is there are consequences to our choices, right? The consequence that I face is not seeing my child again. If y'all don't think that I'm prepared for that, I don't know what to tell y'all. Because deep down, I know that me not having my kid emotionally may suck. But as far as the doors that opens, oh, it's plenty. I'm not taking an L as a result of not having my kid. I'm really not. The only L I'm taking is that emotional attachment that I have to my kid as I should have. But I know how to deal with that. Whether I need to smoke it away, drink it away, exercise it away, go get my nails done it away, right? There are ways to cope with that. As far as the opportunity, though, the opportunities are endless. Meanwhile, this man, they're retiring, right? So he can keep playing these games all he wants to. I feel like even though I may not be in control of where my kid is, I'm in control of this dynamic more than folks understand. And what will happen the day I decide to walk away? Hmm. Hmm. So I'm very adamant about what I said, right? If we need to go back to me picking her up from school, that gives me enough time to be able to schmooze my boss to try to get that to happen. I don't know if it will, but it gives me enough time to put, some skin in, and then hey, this is what I need to be able to do so that I can see my kid. But this summer, I'm not going. I planned on us having a great summer. I was excited about this summer. But if this is a lesson teaching time for everybody, then that's what it will be. Okay. You're not going to walk all over me. You're not going to disrespect me. And I promise you, the child may not understand. She doesn't. Okay. She doesn't. But the reality of the situation is you got a fucked up father. I mean, I wouldn't tell her that. I mean, I'm not gonna just be like, yo, daddy's fucked up, right? That's not my like, I'm not gonna tell her that. But the reality of it is I'm not gonna allow myself to be disrespected anymore. Like I told him, I never deserved it from day one. And I'm a whole new person now. Like, I'm not going to tolerate it now. So he can keep playing these games about, because once he hit me with that every other weekend, I was like, okay, well, then I just won't pick her up. You gonna have to, like, at this point, because now you're taking time. If you think that you're going to be able to justify your actions and then try to leverage my parenting time that's already court ordered as a means to try to justify why you didn't let me know ahead of time, okay, player, that's the game you want to play. By all means, play it. Your kid is old enough to hold you accountable now. And the child is fully aware that I will not be picking, like, I don't hide. No, 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 no. If you gonna pull this shit, everybody involved is going to have everybody's gonna be on the same page. Meaning that when your daughter calls me and says, hey, look, mom, I want to come see you. Oh, well, I need a guarantee from your daddy. And this ain't just, hey, you can call me willy-nilly at any time and come. No, because I have a set time I'm supposed to pick you up. So I get the times have changed because I started a new job. And again, if I was doing this with a normal daddy, it should be no problem. Hey, okay, cool. You pick her up at 6. And or, hey, that time doesn't work for me. What about this time? Right? That is a normal dialogue. But the fact that you had me come on my way, I'm 10 minutes away for you to tell me, nah, I'll pick you up. You didn't even ask me, and you think you're going to yell through some goddamn phone and tell me what you think is about? Oh, no, 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 sir. Mm-mm. Have fun explaining that one to your kid every Friday when it's time for me to pick her up and I'm not there. See, because what we're not going to do is y'all think you get away with this. And I've been here before. I've done this with him before. You let him get away with it once, he keeps fucking doing it. Nope. No, sirree, Bob. No, sir. Not me. So if I've got to put pressure on your child to put your child in a position where she can start speaking up and telling y'all what she wants, then that's what it's gonna have to happen. And or he gonna be seeing her mope around and so unhappy that he ain't got no other choice but to bow down. I'm not fucking playing. And if he doesn't bow down, well, I mean, I would think at some point he is, because the kid is. I just don't see the kid letting this shit slide. So that's all I got to say on the matter, y'all. Thank you for listening to me, man. It sucks because I've worked so hard to get to where I'm at, right? And it baffles me that people hate me, and they really be hating me, and I don't be doing shit. And I know people are like, well, that many people hate you. No, there are just that many people with poor morals and poor values. Like, I've always said this: if I don't like somebody, I've never been the girl to go out of my way to harm them. If I don't like you, that is my cue to just stay away. Act like you don't exist if it's that bad, right? But for the most part, I stay away. I'm not trying to take your kid from you. I'm not trying to laugh at your pain. I want absolutely nothing to do with you. And I think a lot of people confuse like with dislike with envy, right? Because they're not the same thing. When I dislike someone, I completely disengage from that person. Once I figure out that I dislike you, that means I no longer have a right to want to get to know you, want to talk about you. Like, you don't exist anymore. You feel me? And I'm not trying to be mean, like somebody's talking to you and then you act like that you don't hear what they say type. That's not what I'm saying, right? But essentially, if there's someone in this world that I don't have to see on a regular basis and I know I don't like them, out of sight, out of mind, bro. And even when you're in my sight, I will never allow you to think that you got one up on me. Never. That's just how I was born. That's how I was, I don't know, born. I think that's how I was raised. My mama taught me about a hater a very long time ago. And what's happening now, like I told you, they see me show up. I was, I always look good. But it was intentional. But you talking shit about me to my kid, I'ma just show up and just show out, right? And it's more empowering when a woman shows up to a place, she's classy, sexy, and I was alone. Bad in the fucking room, right? And I looked appropriate, but I was still gore, I was still cute. In that moment, my daughter's father said hi, which I felt like he said hi because he just wanted to show that it's an ego thing. The woman you with is sitting behind you and you whistling at me as I'm walking past to go sit in my seat to watch my kid walk. I know I look good because I did that on purpose, right? Not for any other reason outside of I'm putting on a good show for my kid. My kid was dressed up as a princess. It's hot outside, which means I could wear whatever the hell I want to wear. And I want to look good, of course. Why not put the cherry on top? Why not? Just because I'm that bitch. Why not? Me, so he's saying hi, and I smile back because, again, I'm trying to be cordial. I'm not, hi and keep it pushing. No, I kept it pushing. Men like to be associated with pretty women. And the fact that this pretty woman, let me tell you something, it does something on a man's mind, boy, because I'm a pretty woman. I don't need you for shit. And I'm the mother of your child. Let that sink in, because you ain't got you got a badass mother of your child, a beautiful woman. Now keep in mind, there were men there that were also like his friends or whatever, their age or whatever. You mean to tell me no other man been like, damn, she's gorgeous? You mean to tell me this man don't hear that from his friends? If I hear it all day long, this man done heard it from other men. Cause see, the argument is I'm so crazy, right? He don't want nothing to do with me. I'm such a bee. Da, da, da. So when you say that to a man, you're telling him that it's fair game to just say, hey, she's gorgeous. So when I show up and nobody knows who the fuck I am, and then they have to point out that that's her mama, yeah, I would expect folks to be like, damn, how'd you, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I know how humans are. It just is what it is. So the fact that folks see me, then after that, my daughter was like, can y'all hurry up and get y'all pictures of me done so I can go with my mom? Like, like this is, and the kid had no, yep, I'm going with my mommy. And she probably talked about her time with her mommy and everything else. You damn right. Meanwhile, at the same time, the kid is wanting to spend every single weekend with me, all weekend, not just some, just all weekend. And then it's noticeable to the point where her father even says, well, she been spending with you all weekend. That tells me there's a level of jealousy going on. It just is what it is. So when she says that she don't like me because I'm mean, no, that's her projecting. She's mean. And the kid called her out for that shit. You're mean to me for reasons I will never know. What they say, pretty women go through toughest times. That's why I'm by myself a lot of the time, because people are fucked up. They do fucked up shit, bro. And then they get mad at me for already, it's like I said, at this job. Okay, so if you're noticing that I have an attitude, you didn't know that I had an attitude for a reason? Like I already told them. I already know what's being said behind my back when I leave. Just because I'm not there don't mean I don't know what's happening. That's the beauty of being a Pisces. I already know. So I think it's confusing for people because I move according to my intuition. So if my intuition is telling me that you were speaking bad about me, I don't need Paula and James to confirm that shit. My intuition has already told me that shit. And I've been living long enough with my intuition to know that that's probably true. And so as a result of my behavior is going to be slightly different because I feel like you were talking about me. You didn't come say it to my face, so why should I need to tell you that my behavior is changing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, people are crazy. You complain about the fact that my daughter wants to buy flowers for her mommy. I don't even do that with her daddy, and I still take her to go buy shit, right? So this is what you choose to do. And maybe, is it Father's Day weekend? Like, maybe, again, it could be Father's Day, and maybe that is fully justified for his reasonings. But again, how you do something is everything. You know, it's everything. That's why I be telling my daughter, your emotions, it's not that you can't have them, it's how you release them. It's how you show them. It's how you process them. That matters. So I'm at a point, like I said, I just feel like there's something in me, and my daughter is so sad because she's trying to get the old me back, like the old version of me. But because she helped to perpetuate a lie, it's almost like I've got a wall up with her too. Meaning that you ain't finna get away with the same behaviors you've been trying to get away with for God knows how long. You're not gonna fucking do it here. You know? I'm at a point where I'm tired. I have been mentally and emotionally abused. And I'm stronger than ever before. So I'm not going to allow people, and this is really where I'm really at. Like, once I know that it's really you and it's not me, that turns a whole nother, is a whole nother side of me that comes out. I'm ruthless at that point. I don't give a fuck. So if the kid has to go all weekend, because see, her daddy's just as stubborn as me, but I promise you, I'm not budging. because I deserve better. I deserve respect. And I keep saying this. I feel like I keep fucking saying this. I'm your fucking mom, bro. The least you, the little girl, that's why I told her this is on you too. Because you could have told me this when I first called you. I don't think she knew, and I don't think the child was, like I said, I don't think she was really happy that that decision, I feel like the decision was made for her. And I feel like, again, she was frustrated at that fact. And she didn't know how to communicate that because they were watching, they were staring down her throat. They were, like I said, I feel like they were behind the entire thing. So I have not yet mastered the patience with my child behind the bullshit that she falls susceptible to. I haven't. And I think that's where I'm falling short a little bit, is because I don't have empathy. I'm like, little girl, listen, if it was me and my mama and me and my daddy, I had my mama. I remember when and I understand we're different generations too. But my mama sat me in front of, I remember my mom and my dad when they were getting divorced. My mom sat me in this chair and asked me who I wanted to live with. And at that time, I was so scared. I believe I said my mama, which is why I ended up with my mom, you know. Um, but it's also partly because I didn't really see a lot of my dad. When I got older, it was like, oh fuck no, I'm getting up out of here. That's why I'm in Colorado now. Because I was like, I can't do this shit. Crazy lady. So I'm hoping, like I said, I know that my choices and what I feel like I have to do in order to ensure that I'm respected um is not beneficial necessarily what my daughter would want, right? But I feel like I do have to go to the extreme. I feel like I have to keep putting my foot down at every fucking turn. And again, it's, I don't mind going to the courts. Obviously I got to find a time to be able to do all that and everything. Which I don't feel like the courts would be like, no, you can't see your kid because I have a new job. Like at that point, I probably would hire 9 News to just fucking let's talk about all of this shit, right? Because it would make no sense. I just don't see the judge being like, no. I see the judge anytime I've had a schedule change, right? The judges agreed to it. So as far as timing of when I can pick her up, the judges agreed to it. So I don't know, y'all. Like I said, there's things that I can do, but I feel like the only way to get some real shit is if this man fucking realizes. And I can't force him to realize, but I do know having a kid with you 24/7 all day every day, I know that that gets annoying. And I know that the kid is where she's at in her life. Okay. I don't see the kid allowing that to happen for too long, right? I see the kid really beginning to protest. That's the stage she's in. She just hasn't been pushed there yet. um and me, like I said, this could have been resolved, like just with even the acknowledgement that I'm right, not with, oh well, we can go back to every other weekend. That was the wrong answer. That's not how you resolve situations, right? That can be resolved if both parties are working together. Honestly, that ain't even a working, that's common fucking sense, what I'm asking for. So because I'm getting these stupid answers, right? This, oh well, she could just see you next weekend. Oh, okay. So since you dictate in time, then how about it's something about the control shit. I'm not there for that. I don't know. And if this is what you and your girlfriend think is gonna work, then cool. Whatever. But that kid is gonna grow up to hate them. And that's what they're not understanding. She'll be mad at me, but a lot of what she's mad at me about, she ended up realizing, damn, mom, you're kind of right. Okay, mom, I definitely see how you could come up to the, like, she gets it. With them, she don't get it. So it is what it is, you guys, but that's where I'm at. I obviously don't have my kids, so I'm about to chill. Hopefully my tire does not go completely flat. I have not put air in the tire. My initial plan was to pick up my kid, then go put air in the tire. So I'm praying it'll be drivable enough to get it to the tire place in the morning. But I'm gonna enjoy my weekend to myself. And again, next weekend that time comes around, I already know my kid is gonna be asking me questions, and my response to her will be, I need your dad to agree that this, because you can't keep doing this. Like, if it's 6 o'clock, then it's 6 o'clock. Not, I'm going to just take the time away. That's not cool. So if that's the game that's being played, then I just won't have no time. I'm okay with that. Because you ain't about to be fucking with me and my time and not, no, nigga, no. So this is where I'm at, y'all. I'm over it. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night. Thank you guys for tuning in. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.